Hi everyone. It's a great pleasure to have Muthoottu Mini, the entire management with us. Just to give the context, Mr. Mathew, we are the team of the fixedincome.com. There are a lot of retail investors, a lot of family offices, HNIs have joined us digitally, and it's an immense pleasure for us to host the entire management of Muthoottu Mini. For the understanding of the audience, let me give a little background and then I'll hand over the discussion to Mr. Mathew and Mr. Mathai. Mr. Mathew is the managing director of Muthoottu Mini, and Mr. Mathai is the CEO of Muthoottu Mini. Move to some presentation that we have prepared for people to understand of Mathew Muthoottu and Mr. P. Mathai as an introduction. Mr. Mathew is the fourth generation member to this group, to Muthoottu Mini, while Mathai sir comes with a lot of experience in the banking and the NBFC sector. We would like to keep this discussion more of an interactive in nature, Mr. Mathew and Mr. Mathai. And we have collated a lot of questions that we have come across. So rather than more of a presentation and a webinar, we wanted it to be more interactive in nature. I've jotted down some of the questions that the clients have asked us, showing their interest in the story of Muthoottu. To begin with, I will invite you to just give a brief background first of the company and some of the key highlights that you want any of the new investor. For example, if he's coming for a particular gold loan from you, or somebody is coming to make an investment in the NCD of Muthoottu Mini, what would be few line description of a group to that new investor or a new borrower from you?
Yeah, actually, in our company, if you can see that we have started to issue NCDs long back, and this is maybe we have gone for 17 public NCDs, and we had for now 4 private NCDs. And even when we were having a rating only triple B minus, our NCDs were fully subscribed. And even now, if we are going to the market, 75% of our NCD is coming from Kerala market because we are well known in that market. Now we are coming to the eastern, western part of India, and also to the northern part of India. We are now at present we are known to the people, investors in this locality, and we are offering very good interest rate when compared to the banks and even the other NBFCs. And our when if you are investing in our company in NCD, we are giving 100 rupees when we are keeping gold worth rupees 125 rupees. So it is very secure, and gold is as far as we are concerned, gold is very liquid assets which can be at any time it can be disposed of, and we can set off our liability. And even when we started in long back in our first issue, almost the previous issues were repaid on due date, the principal and interest with what we have committed, and we are continuing the journey with growth, and our rating is also increased, and our profit is also increasing. And when we are doing this business, we can see that our promoters are not taking one single pie from this system. It is plowed back to strengthen the company. So the capital is also increasing, and anybody who is wanted to invest in the company can very well invest in it because your investment is safe in our hands.
And maybe I can add a few words further to what Mathai sir said as well. I mean, if you look at our numerical numbers as well, I mean, especially over the last 3-4 years, we brought out some real positive numbers out there, especially last 3 years, almost 30% growth year on year as well. And ratings have also tremendously shot up as well. We were only rated BBB minus about 3 years back. So we've gone one notch up almost every year. even when with the advent of COVID, when the market was looking a bit stiffened up at that point of time, we managed to outgrow almost all our competition at that point of time as well. And along with it, our NPA levels is one of the best in the industry as well. It is below the 1% mark. So overall, our books, especially last 3 years, and the way that we are projecting over the next few years, I think it is a very positive track record going forward as well.
I think both Mathew sir and Mathai sir were kind enough not to mention their highlights. Let me put one highlight. They both of them has recently won the Economic Times Best BFSI Award. And Mr. Mathew has received the Distinguished Most Promising Business Leader of Asia in 2024, while Mr. Mathai has been awarded the Chief Operating Officer of Muthoottu Mini Financial as the Best Leader in the category. Obviously, the investors would like to dig down in the financial that we will be taking through in the webinar in the upcoming slides. Before that, let me put one question to the management that is there in the ears of every investor where we speak to. It's a 1921 establishment. It has a more than 100 years of legacy. Could you be kind enough to take us through what the legacy speaks about, where this name come from, and probably some anecdote about how this idea of a gold loan NBFC came up while we have a lot of NBFC, gold loan NBFC already in the market?
Right. So Nagesh has rightly said, I think I will probably take you through that legacy. As rightly said, I myself, I am a fourth generation entrepreneur. I am representing the entire legacy sitting here in itself. So talking about Muthoot, I think everybody knows the entity Muthoot, or Muthoot as a company is a well-known name out there. It is closely associated with gold loans in itself. Muthoot, the moment you say Muthoot, you associate gold loan along with it. But Muthoot as a name, it is not just an entity, it is actually a family name. A family name which has been there for over a century. We have been predominantly a business family in itself. Way back during the early 1800s, you're talking about my great-grandfather at that point of time. He started off with the grains and timber business at that point of time. So throughout those years, he has been continuing with those business. By around 1950s, his three sons actually took over the business reins. And by 1960s, they started diversifying into the finance sector. After the independence, they started understanding that there is a thirst in the economy. There are people that need capital at that point of time. So they started venturing into the finance segment at that point of time. So by around the late 1960s, the three sons, the three brothers, they started the company called Muthoot M. George and Brothers. These three brothers, which as we know today, one of those brothers is actually Muthoot, the founder of Muthoot Finance, which is basically Muthoot M. George. If we can play that slide, it will be good. It is actually the fifth slide.
I think it's more of a legacy that probably people would like to hear. I think something
Fine,
is
fine,
not
fine.
there on the this particular presentation. But before we move on, Matthew sir, there's one
Right.
harsh question that I wanted to ask on behalf of the investors. It's a
Sure.
little personal and it's little to do with the fourth generation leader. As a
Mhm.
fourth generation leader, sir, how have you personally contributed to the business? Some of the investors come and ask us, okay, it's a common knowing that if it is a first generation, first entrepreneur generation who is beginning the business, as a
True.
fourth generation, what role and what expertise that you bring on table, which should give our investors a lot of confidence in managing director as a post, sir.
Right. So Nagesh has rightly said, as a fourth generation leader, the pace has already been set in. The motion is already out there. I mean, the first generation, second generation, they have done their part. So for me, I myself, if you ask me, I mean, I did my studies abroad. I did my business management from Cambridge. I came back in 2013 and I took charge of the company as managing director in 2016. So ever since I took charge, it is more of a project orientation for me, where I already know that this is a business which has reached a certain stage and a certain size. And for me, it is to see that it evolves into the next stage. So what is the next stage for this company? Now, to let the people know that there is a company out there which has been there for over a certain period or over these legacies, and also to reach or also to get a better reach to the investor class in itself. So for me, it is a project which I can probably say, okay, I have taken a company at a certain stage which was at a certain size, and I want not only for the company to grow in terms of its size or not only in terms of its AU, where I can probably open up to more investors and to let the company open up for more of an investment opportunity as well. Now, today the company is a public limited company. It turned public way back in 2014 till about 2013. It was a private limited company. So we also did our NCD issues after me. I had taken over as well. We had done 17 successful NCD issues as well. And now the next stage would probably be to see that we bring in more equity, more debt funding. Right now, we're looking at more debt funding, and somewhere down the line is to see that we hit that AUM and then we go public. So that for me, I can probably sign off and say that I have done a successful job, because taking the company public, that is one thing which I always dream of. Because over the last 3 generations, it is all about building. There is that legacy out there. We've been saying that we've been there for 100 years. But the next stage, we have to let people in. We have to let the world know that this is a company which has been there for over a century. Now, yes, it has reached a certain stage. It is now up and ready, where investors can definitely flow in. They can put in their money. Now it is going to go into a whole different landscape in itself. So for me, I am actually undertaking that project from taking it to a stage where it was a private entity, taking it to a public entity and getting more investors in. So I think I play that crucial role in this junction.
Thanks a lot, Matthew, sir, for answering that harsh question. But yes, I have to represent on behalf of the investor. That's why this question has came in. But you beautifully explained what kind of expertise you're bringing on the table. Let me
But
move on the focus.
sorry,
I was
I
about to
can.
come to you only, Mathai, sir. I was about
No,
to come to
no, no,
you.
no. One thing, I can throw more light on the what you asked. When he joined in 2016, he has restructured the entire organization, and he brought the structure to the organization. That is the zonal office setup, regional office setup, branch setup, and even the auditors setup. All he brought the re-engineering in this organization. And also, what he has done, he has brought many experts from outside, and he has promoted the people who are inside. And now it is a mix of experienced people and the people who are here. And it is a very good, that is his foresight. And he has put the people, the right people in right places, so that the company, after he becoming the MD, you can see that the NCDs started, then the rating has gone up, and it has become a professional organization.
That brings me to another question that the investor has. One side, we have the young blood like Mr. Mathew. And the other side, we have the chairman, Ms. Ma'am, Nizzy Ma'am is also there, and Mr. Mathai, who has years of experience. Would request Mathai sir to shed that light how that combination of the young blood and that such rich experience. You come from an NBFC and the banking background. Madam is there in the business from last more than 2 decades. So how this the combination of both is resulting in the business?
Actually, as we said, when you are seeing the presentation which you have shown, sent to you, you can see that every year there is a growth in the organization. You can see that now the branches are 902. And what we have seen when we are looking from the bank's angle, where the gold loan company with a AUM of 3,522, I never thought that the loan disbursement will be 10,000 plus crores. It is a new information to me. This is why we require more fund for rotation. That is why we are frequently approaching the people. But at the same time, you can see that when fund is rotated quickly, we are making more profit as well. That is why we are requiring more fund and we are approaching the people as well. And you can see that when the experience and the new generation join together, we can see that our net NPA is only 0.72 now, which is why, because we think that the business should be, when business is growing, we should have a good base also, and our assets should also be good, because the what our MD is looking for next 40, 50 years from here, not 2 years, 3 years, make the profit and go, run away from the market. What is the thinking? Let us put all effort and see that the organization is growing gradually with the support of the needed people, maybe from the staff, from the customers, and from investors, and from maybe tomorrow some new additions in the capital is coming from the private equity or from the public is coming. We have to cater to them also. So he is having a very big, large vision for the coming years. And that is why we are going steadily in the market.
We have the privilege to have Ms. Nizi also, the chairman and our beloved full-time director of the Muthoottu Mini. I know she wasn't the panel, but she was kind enough to be giving us her presence. Ma'am, if you could speak few words on your understanding of the Muthoottu Mini's journey, just few words.
Muthoottu journey is what you have for day. Nothing more to add to that.
I think Madam actually brings in the experience factor. I mean,
Yeah.
she has had the rub off of 3 generations of experience. She knows my grandfather. She's had ample hands. She has learned a lot from him as well. Then from my father, who took it to the next level as well. And now she's probably guiding me in the right way as well. So here we have a person who is sitting with almost 3 generations of vast experience on hand as well. So she's a woman of little words, but let me tell you, she has a lot of wisdom.
Beyond
I think
that,
this is the
beyond that, in our company, financial companies, most of the people, not 50%, just below 50%, they are all ladies. So she is the moral support for all lady employees in our company, and she is taking special care for such people, so that for the ladies, so that their support will be maximum for our company.
I think this is for the first time I've seen the best combination sitting in the management room where we have an equal mix of the young blood and the senior experienced people, and also in the gender, right? I can
Yeah.
see 3 ladies in the management discussion, and I generally have not seen much of the ladies' participation in the NBFC's gold loan business. But that is really nice to see. I think that brings a lot of diversification also, which reflects in your business lending and your business as a revenue model too. Because generally the gold is held by ladies of the house. So I understand that philosophy has to be brought in. Some of the growth metrics that our investors wanted to know that Muthoottu Mini boasts a remarkable legacy of around 100 years. Can you share some specific growth metrics that showcase the company's success over the years? And what are your aspirations for the future growth? For the sake of understanding, I'll put one slide so that it gives a exact reference of the financials.
Okay.
So you can see that that is in the year 1920, our number of branches was 784. Now it is 902, and the number of employees have grown from 3,100 plus to 4,500, and disbursement of loan crores 4,500 plus crores to 10,000 crores. That is a big improvement in that. Asset under management has grown from 1,691 to 3,522, and total income has grown from 313 15 to 668.65. Profit before tax 32.34 to 110.17. Tangible net worth has grown from 459.05 to 679. And rating, I am not, we are not saying that A minus is a very good rating, but it is grown from triple B minus to A minus. So you can see that we are in the growing path. And NPA level, you can see that it is coming down. So in every aspect, we are improving. And we are confident that if we can grow in 3-4 years from triple B minus to A minus, next coming years is our year, and we will be in a better rating by 2027.
That is so nice to hear about, sir. We would also like to know, sir, on the client base. We all know gold loan is more of a retail business. First of all, you would like to understand what is happening in the gold loan industry, and are we into wholesale lending to any of the corporates, or is it only the retail? And what is the significant number of clients that we have added recently and also over the period?
Yeah, that is correct. That is a good question. Actually, last April, we smell that there is something fishy in the market happening. Why? Because we understood that there are a lot of spurious items are coming in many branches. Then we send a warning letter to all branches that be careful. And we have decided that we will shift from high ticket loans to low ticket loans. Why? Because the high ticket loans, if we are getting a one spurious item, one big ticket loan, it will be big loss to us. Whereas if some small loan comes, even if it is become spurious or fake, we can absorb that problem. And second thing is that the high ticket loan, the interest rate is very small. There the competition is very big in between the banks and also big NBFCs. But we are focusing because in the market, as you know, the gold loan market is even very potential. Total 30,000 tons of gold in the household of India, and out of which maybe 5 to 7 tons only plugged so far. So the potential is very high. If we are making the people aware that this is pledged, it can be utilized for your future purpose, business purpose, definitely it will grow. The gold loan will grow. Now, every year, 1 lakh crore of additions are happening. Gold loan additions are happening every year. That means there is still potential for market, and at the same time, 35% of this gold loan is in the organized sector. Remaining 65,000, it is with private lenders whom are charging 36% to 50%. If we can convince the ordinary people who are at the lower level of the pyramid, those who are not having much education, if we can gradually convince them that you come to us, you will get at a reduced rate of interest, definitely this 65% can be transformed into our business. That is why we are talking to our customer, to our staff, and we are telling that increase our customer base. Last year, we have increased our customer base by nearly 85 to 90,000 new customers, which is very good as far as we are concerned. And we know that you can see that our per branch business is increasing. It was 2.5, 3.5. It reached now 4, nearly 4 crores. What we are planning next year, our per branch business will be 5 crores. And if we are increasing the branch also, we are confident that the profit will also increase because our operating cost will be very less. And like that, we can increase our profit. Coming years, we are confident that our growth will be phenomenal, and our profit margin will also be phenomenal.
I think so. At present, we have how many clients, the active clients we have that we are serving?
We are almost having 4 lakhs clients active, and there are a customer base of 13 million, out of which any point of time there will be active clients of 4 lakhs in our company.
Since
So
we
they
are
were
dealing with short-term loans here, the churning period is much faster. We're looking at periods of loans between 6 to 9 months. So if you look at it, the total disbursement was somewhere close to 10,000 crores last financial year in itself. So the number of customers that keep rotating, you're looking in the bracket of somewhere, as Mathai sir rightly said, 13 million. So they keep coming back, but active customer base, you're looking at somewhere close to 4 to 5 lakh active customers. But the entire customer base keeps coming back, they keep rotating as well.
understood, sir. Understood. Sir, one question that a lot of young minds generally ask. We all know that we live in a technology upgradation atmosphere where every new day the technology get upgraded. Muthoottu Mini been there for more than 100 years. What technological advancements have we incorporated in the system? Can you shed some light how the technology is playing out and what is the use of technology in the Mathew, in the Muthoottu Mini's business?
Well, I mean, as far as Muthoottu Mini is concerned, we are a classic model of a brick and mortar business. It's a very classic model where actually customers actually have to come to the branch to actually take their gold loan. We started off that process, but as rightly said, throughout these years, we have brought in technology into the mix as well. Way back in 2006 is when we actually moved to the online facility in itself, where we started bringing in computers to all the branches. We moved from a paper system to a computer system. So today the challenge is much faster because we understand the world is moving very fast, and we are out there to bring in. We keep investing in terms of technology as well. Right now on the helm, we are changing the entire software in itself because we want to make things faster as well. But from a technology point of view, right now, we have solutions. We are already providing solutions to all the customers. We are providing apps to all the customers as well. So from a technology point of view, if you have gold today as a customer, you need to come to the branch probably one time, get the ornament assist, and then you don't have to worry about paying the interest rates at all. I mean, you can probably pay it from the comfort of your home or whether you're working in your office. So the next time you probably, in order to release the gold, or probably if you want to take the ornament back, you have to come back. So it's just 2 times. Rest, you can definitely do the entire process at home. And beyond that, you can also further enhance the amount as well if it be required as well. Now, for example, if he has kept an ornament or somewhere close to worth 4 lakhs, and if he has only facilitated somewhere around 1.5 lakhs, he can definitely further enhance his capital as well, because there is that limit which is available to him as well. So these are the sort of facilities that we are providing as of today as well. And I do believe that is a requirement going forward as well, because especially since the advent of COVID, we have seen that people were stuck at home as well. They still need to take their money. So yes, we are going all guns blazing in terms of bringing in technology as much as possible. But technology is not only to strengthen the forefront, it is on the back end as well. We are trying to make processes faster as well. We are trying to connect to the larger public using technology as well. So yes, next few years we will definitely be enhancing our experience in terms of technology, reaching out to a bigger customer base as well.
I think
Now,
I agree.
we can
Yes.
say by introducing this software or the technology, what we are envisaging is 3 S's. That is safety, security, and speed. Safety in the sense now almost all the dispersal of loan is from corporate office, central office. We can control from corporate office all the dispersals. So we can see the KYC norms, and we can see the speed, the safety of the gold. So safety is most important by introducing the new technology. Then security. The technology is used for safety of our branches by introducing alarm system, introducing the
monitoring system.
the monetary system. All security aspect is covered from corporate office. Then speed, and immediately we can disperse from the, if a person is coming, we can see that the immediate dispersal is happening. So at present we have a software system, but we are upgrading it by putting a new company, Tech. We have started a new company with experts from retired bankers and from NBFCs, and we are introducing a new software for the company, and it will be ready by the end of this year, this financial year. We hope that this system will be useful for us, and even we can sell it to our company, other NBFCs as well. So we consider because of the vision of our MD, we are coming out with a lot of innovations in the technological side. We are hopeful that we will be at the top within 1 or 2 years.
I think so. This is the best example of bringing in the experienced professionals like Mathai sir, who brings that edge on the table. He can read what the investor would have. This was exactly the next question that most of our investors were asking about the gold safety and all. I think the kind of rich experience that Mathai sir bring on board, he knows what next the investor gonna ask.
Yeah.
So this was exactly the same question I was about to ask on behalf of the investors.
Okay.
The next point, it's not very relevant to the gold industry as such, but of the NBFC when we talk about the competitive advantage. So a lot of NBFCs are there who probably eyeing the same pie of the business when it comes to NBFC majorly, MSME financing, unsecured lending. While we understand gold loan industry works altogether different, but to shed some light about the competitive advantage of Muthoottu Mini and whether there is a similar pie that everybody eyes in the gold loan NBFC, or it is a unique pie that the gold loan NBFC work upon, sir.
Gold loan NBFC, as we know, our prominent business is gold loan only. Here we are now at present, our business is nearly 98% is coming from gold loan. And what is the advantage? There is still opportunity for expanding the gold loan business, and we are getting also. But at the same time, we have a small unit of microfinance, which is nearly 8% now. Then the profit is high, but the risk is very high. But what we are doing, because of the technology, because of the support given by various agencies, credit agencies, and the technology, we can identify the persons who are defaulters. So gradually we are expanding that field also, microfinance as well. Now we are entering to MSME. We have identified an expert in that field, and he will be joining in June in our company. And maybe we are a company with go slow and steady wins the race. So MSME also we will start. Maybe it is profitable, but with a lot of risk, but we will go slow and steady. And in our plan, next year, we will be having 15 to not more than 20% in MSME and microfinance, retaining 80% in gold loan. That is sufficient for us. We will have sufficient space to grow in both, but we want to test the market of MSME also this year.
And one more thing which I can probably add to that is that when we talk about the entire segment in itself, as rightly stated by Mathai sir earlier, we are still looking at only 35% of the entire segment, which is still in the organized sector. So you're talking about banks, you're talking about NBFCs together holding about 35% of the entire gold loan segment. And about the rest 65 is still with the private players out there. You're looking at local players, local pawnbrokers. So we, NBFC, we play a crucial role in trying to reach out to the larger segment in that as well. So how do we reach out? We try to keep talking to them. We reach out to them as much as possible in terms of connecting to them on a social basis, on a community basis. We keep doing that. That is how we keep we keep on pushing our branches to do that as well. It is not an easier task because you are looking at a lot of private players out there who doesn't come under the RBI norms to start up, who doesn't require any sort of KYC requirement. There are no limits as such. So we are, there is a huge challenge out there, but we want to see that definitely every NBFC, we do believe that every gold loan NBFC has their own space out there. It is all about trying to bring them to the organized sector, and that is where we believe we have this huge space as well.
I think one of the question that has come just now is on the geographical diversification. So I have the figures and the people are aware that most predominantly it is south where we have a business coming from. But within south, if you could give us broadly what business does it come from the southern states of country, and what are your strategies to diversify your geographical mix of the AUMs, which is the loan that you disperse?
Of course, we started from Kerala and we expanded to Tamil Nadu because the most of the people are having gold loan. These household gold loans are very big in these localities, and they have the habit of pledging the gold when they need it. And now, when we are grown gradually, we went to Karnataka, then to Telangana, then to Karnataka, this Andhra. Now we are expanding to NCR, Delhi NCR. We have branches, nearly 15 branches in Delhi NCR locations. And now western part, Mumbai, we have opened our administrative office. We want to grow in Maharashtra, in Gujarat, and also our branches are spread towards the north as well, but gradually only. But it will be in cluster, we will be moving. Not we will open 4 or 5 branches in one locations and go to another. No, we are gradually spreading our wings to the northern sector and to the western sector. You can see that most of the branches we have opened last year in Andhra only, where there is a huge potential, and you can see that the business what we are getting in from Andhra is very huge, and we have an advantage over other NBFCs because we can open branches up to 1,000 numbers without the permission from RBI. So we can select according to our will and wish. If we consider that a location is very potential, we can open there. So we are opening the branches where there is more potential, and also the branches where we are having 10 crores, 15 crores, we will open one more branch there, so that our business will not be taken by others. That is the strategy we are using, and also we are looking to the lowest base of the pyramid, so that the number of customers base we want to increase, and at the same time the growth in AUM will also happen. Hello?
Sir, before, yes, it's audible, sir.
You are there. So, yeah.
One thing.
Okay, carry on.
One thing that is, so before we move on to the financials, sir, there are two things. One is my own personal question to you, and second is on behalf of the investors. One that people are asking, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, has come up a little stringent. There are some circulars also issued on the gold loan as an industry. You could give us some lights what this circular talks about and how are we protected, and given that circular scope, can we continue the vision with which the Muthoottu Mini's management want to eye the future business?
No, we are very happy that RBI is coming out with a lot of guidelines and regulations, because it will be applicable to all. And in our case, we are abide by the stipulation of the RBI. And if it is given by the RBI to all, we are more happy because we are in the line of the regulators. And we have started from when we have introduced the OGL, online gold loan. We have started with the 5 lakhs, then to 4 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 2 lakhs. All the gold loan dispersal is through OGL, online gold loan. And we are welcomed the directive from RBI. And last time when they visited us, they are very happy that we are functioning with all regulations stipulated by the RBI, and we are functioning more or less like a bank. They are very much happy about us. And even if they are coming with more directive, we will be the happiest people because it is applicable to all and nobody is out of the purview of RBI. And we are committed to abide by the regulations by RBI always.
Never it's for so many reasons.
It is good for our expansion of business. There will be discipline. One thing is that discipline among ourselves and discipline among all the NBFCs and discipline in the financial sector.
So we have a privilege. We have a privilege to also have Ms. Smita with us, who happens to be the company secretary and looks into the compliance part. I've got a question from the investor. I told you that I would be moving into some other question as well of my personal opinion, but this has come in from the compliance angle. As Smita ma'am is already there, how compliant are we? So Mathai sir has already briefed us about the RBI circular, its impact coming in. But as a compliance officer, uh, how much role you have to play in the normal business and ensure that everything is regulatorily compliant, ma'am?
See, since we are a listed entity, we also have to comply with the regulations prescribed by SEBI. And since we are an NBFC, we also have to comply with the regulations prescribed by the Reserve Bank of India. With regard to both set of compliance, I think we are very well there. And the transparency in the disclosures, as you can see, also in our annual reports, everything is coming. It is completely disclosed. We are transparent, and from the regulator, especially from SEBI side, we have not had none of those queries or any non-compliance being reported. And I can say completely in compliance with SEBI regulations. As far as RBI regulations are also, when you are considering that, in the last few years, we have seen that we have changed so much. Most of the things have become transparent, like rightly our CEO was just stressing. The recent inspection has also seen that the compliances are being properly met by the company, and really happy with what is being prescribed the rules and regulations. So as far as the compliance part is concerned, whether it is from the RBI or from the SEBI angle or from the MCA, because we are a company, from the compliance side, I say the company is doing really well, and there are not much gaps that is being pointed out, and we are right there in the right place.
So why I asked this specific question to you, ma'am, because a lot of investors are inquiring an investment opportunity in Muthoottu Mini, wherein we also have one bond that is up for offering, which is 10% coupon payable monthly with a 3-year maturity. People and investors do come back to us asking one main thing on the compliance, and that's why I invited you to shed some light, and it gives a lot of confidence to the investors. There are compliance officers sitting there on the board and telling that everything is compliant, none of the observation has come to the light, and everything is in line with the regulator's requirement. Now, the question before we move to financials, sir, I told you that I would have one question. That's my personal question to you. Is what difference of Muthoot Finance, Muthoot FinCorp, and Muthoot Mini? Because as a layman, as if we go more on the northern part of the country, we have a lot of investors joined from the northern part of the country too. And it's a common question, not only me, I also come from North India. So people do have this concept. What is a Muthoot Finance, FinCorp, and Muthoot Mini?
Yeah.
Is it for me or
To Mathew sir, to the fourth generation leader who happens to be the managing director also running this business. It's a family legacy, I believe.
True. It's very true. I mean, like, as far as the name is concerned, it is a family legacy. It has been there for generations. I mean, all the three groups actually root from the same family in itself, started by my great grandfather. So then there were his three sons that later took over, and each of those three sons decided to split ways by around late 1970s, and that is when they took shape. So by that point of time, I think all three brothers were doing the same sort of business. They understood that there is a huge space out there, is a huge market out there, and the household has actually accepted gold as a good form of investment, and people can actually utilize this gold at a later point of time in order to get capital as well. So all three brothers later decided to split ways, and they started each of those companies. One is Muthoottu Finance, as rightly said, the red one. Then here you have Muthoot Papachan, the blue one, and then you have us, Muthoot Mini, which is now branded as the yellow one. So all three of us are basically competing in the same space itself. Each of us have, we believe that we have our own strength. But talking about us, where we believe is our strength is that we try to target the smaller customers. Much like what our name says, Muthoot Mini, we are looking at smaller customers here. We're not looking at large scale customers. We're looking at ticket sizes of roughly around 40,000 to 60,000. So we believe we are able to make inroads in that sort of a segment. And the sort of markets where we are situated, if you look at us, we are not probably there in almost all the spaces where a Muthoot Finances or a Muthoot FinCorp is. We are more towards the tier 2 and tier 3 cities where we believe is where the economical growth is happening as well. The economic activities are happening, where market is actually more active as well. So we try to locate our branches in such areas. We try to go and connect with the public on a local level, on a community-based level, on a social level, to see that we are connected to them as well. So that is how we get in grip with the market. And yes, people do have that trust. I'm sure they do share the same trust as well. And I think that's what gives us the strength. But more or less, everybody is giving the same product out there. It comes down to the relationship that the branch is able to build with that locality. Ultimately, brings us that business.
That's so nice for you to come and address the difference. So now we have to move on to financial. We are running short of time as well. Some financial, and then there's some relevant questions to that particular slide. I'll move on to the next slide that we have in the presentation, which talks about the financial highlights. I think there is a small mistake at our end. The current FY 2024 AUM number is around 3,400, but I leave it to the management to give us the updated number. But I think more or less these are the numbers till 2023. And the next slide we wanted to take is the NPA and the CAR. Let's first talk about the AUM part. So how the journey has been, if you could shed some lights on the FY24. We do understand these numbers are provisional at present. They have to be audited and finalized. But if you could shed some light and how the year has been, and what are your...
It is 3,522. Unaudited figure is not 3,441, it is 3,522.
Oh my God. So the number that you mentioned is still lesser than what we have achieved, we able to achieve.
Yes.
Yeah, it is 3,522.
Oh, that is great. So for the sake of the investors to understand, the current AUM stands around 3,500 crore, which was standing 3,200 crore earlier, a year before. Now on the financial performance, these figures speaks a lot of commitment from the company. It talks about the performance itself. But I leave it to the management to give a sense of confidence to the investor while engaging on this particular slide. So.
Yeah, you can see that income has grown from 544 to 669. And as I said, it is happening because our per branch business is growing. There the OPEX is not much increase, and whereas we are increasing our income. And the profit before tax have gone from 82 to 110, and CRAR from 22 to 22.81 to 23.78. This all shows our strength. And net worth has gone from 625 to 703. GNPA, gross NPA, it is a little higher because last year when the price has gone up, our loyal customers approached us and told that we are ready to take the loan if you are giving us time. We thought that even if we are giving some time, we will not get any loss, but at the same time, we are obliging the customers so that we can retain them. So it is only technical NPA, and even that is less than the average industrial level.
It is one of the best figures in the industry.
Yeah.
That is so nice. So for the sake of investors, let me wrap up the discussion we had. The management was kind enough to take us through the journey of Muthoottu Mini from the inception to some of the key financials, and also how the technology is playing part in the current business and what are the future plans of the companies as far as the technology upgradation is concerned. The branches that we have reached to a significant number of 900 plus, the talent that we have on board. The one thing that we would like to conclude our discussion and would request Mathew sir as well, just to share his confidence if any individual has to come in. For me to sum it up, there is an opportunity again on the fixedincome.com, which is an online bond portal, which is a SEBI-registered online bond portal, is offering a current investment opportunity in Muthoottu Mini's business as a strategic partner, which offers a 10% coupon rate, and you can lock in your investment at 10% for good 3 years, and this return is also payable on a monthly basis. So anybody who has a recurring requirement can also participate in this opportunity. Reiterating what my question was, Matthew sir, what confidence, for example, if a person sitting next to you have to invest in this particular opportunity, whether the investment is safe, and what for a person from a portfolio diversification, I would like you to put yourself in investor shoes and answer this question. If you have to diversify your own investment, whether would you be kind enough to consider Muthoottu Mini as an investment opportunity?
Right. So as Nagesh has rightly stated, I think I have to. It is a call out to the public as well. So as far as Muthoot Mini is concerned, let me start off by saying that this is one of the most 100% secure business because we are basically dealing in gold loans. Number one, as rightly stated by Mathai sir earlier, so we are only giving out 100 rupees for every 125 rupees of gold out there. So it is 100% security backed. And number two, it is the legacy factor. We have been there doing this business for over 100 years. So we know the no's and don'ts of what we are supposed to do in terms of this gold loan business as well. So we keep improvising in terms of how to qualitatively improve our service factor as well. And on top of that, the last 3 years, the figures are speaking in itself. The year-to-year growth, it has been a 30% growth. Our rating has drastically improved. Our NPAs have dropped. Our net worth has been flying high as well. So all in all, this is an absolute 100% secure company.
Sure, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right. And yeah. And to top it off, we do have a small portfolio in terms of microfinance as well as a company, which is basically about 7% of the entire books. But it is not something that we are pushing for as well. We are only making a qualitative growth in terms of growing its book size as well. And going forward, we will definitely be keeping on stressing on the gold loan front as well itself, because where we believe is that we have not yet hit those heights. At this present, we are looking at somewhere close to about 4.2, and on an average gold loan AUM, crores of AUM per branch, which we believe can further go up to about 6 to 7. So you are only looking at further enhancing the revenue in this business. So those who are investing in this company, definitely the revenue is going to keep going up. The capital investment, I think it has been done, and the major share is done. So for us, this is a company in the next 2 to 3 years, the figures are going to keep skyrocketing at this point of time. And maybe by the end of the third or the fourth year, you're looking at probably going for an IPO or even a private equity at that point of time. So probably to all the investors, this is probably the right time to partner us at this point of time, because we are in tune with what is happening out there. I think we are leading the pack in terms of growth, in terms of all the ratios we have been putting out as well. We are going head to head with all the other players in the market as well. And we believe that we are finding our own space as well. So next 3 years, definitely it is going to be exciting. And we believe that that every investor who is going to invest in us, for sure, they're going to get their money's worth.
You were humble and kind enough not to touch upon the aspect of portfolio diversification, as we
Right.
have our own wealth managers. Why this question was specifically asked to you? Because a lot of HNIs in the family offices and also be the part of audience. Fixed income or a bond as a portfolio diversification. If I have to offer you, why would you
Right.
be
Okay.
considerate to have a fixed income in your portfolio?
No, actually, portfolio diversification, we, as I said, as MD said, MD sir said, we have one microfinance. And this year we are planning for another division of MSME, which is also maybe it will be both together, microfinance and MSME together, maybe 15 to 20% we will be looking at. But keeping our main business as gold loan alone, and so that for expansion purpose, we have to diversify. So we are diversifying gradually only. That is microfinance, and now we have 7%, we may go up to 10%. We will MSME, we will go for 5 or 8% next year. Total, anyhow, we will not grow beyond 20% of total AUM in these two segments. But
Actually, sir, this question was on
On
the
the debt, on the
personal
debt, on the debt
portfolio of
thing.
the investors. For example, like a lot of family offices have investment across
okay,
equity,
okay.
private
Yes,
equity.
that's what I.
Now we have okay, sorry.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
We got it confused as well. You're talking about the debt front. Okay.
That front we have now NCD, we have private NCD, we have this bank finance, and we are having this this private NCD and subdebt, and also we are going for CP this year. We have rated our for CP, it is rated A1, because as you can see that this last year our growth, even though we have our AUM is 3,522, we have a dispersal of 10,000 crores plus. 10,000 plus crores means we need money. It may come from NCD, it may come from bank finance, but we need quick finance, for which we are turning to CP also. Perhaps we may go for this ECB. Now we are diversified for debt instrument as well. And we have discussions with many people, investors and NBFCs and many banks and this even this market players. We are expecting that we will have this CP also in our book.
So as far as the portfolio is concerned, I think maybe I can put further light on it. I mean, we started tapping the market since about 2013. In fact, we were a private entity way back in 2013. We turned public in 2014. And ever since that, we have been tapping the market. We've had 17 successful NCD issues as well. And in fact, all the 17 NCD issues, we were oversubscribed. And after about 2020, we started stressing more on the bank front as well. We have improved our debt in terms of our relationship in terms of banks. So right now we are looking at somewhere around 54% of bank funding, and the rest is basically NCD. And pretty recently, we have also tapped into the private debt market as well. That is something that we are looking forward to as well. It is basically to see that we reach out to a larger public, because going forward, as rightly said, 3 to 4 years down the line, we would like to go for an IPO. So this would probably be the right feelers out there for the investors to come and probably invest, and to see that, yes, we are going in the right direction. And they can also have a feeler maybe in another 3 years time, by the time we turn out to the next page as well.
Understood. It was a really, really great interaction with the entire management of Muthoottu Mini. So we would like to dwell more upon the story of Muthoottu Mini, but because of the restriction of the time that we have, and for the sake of all the investors' time, I did not even realize the entire 1 hour is passed. It was such a beautiful conversation, knowing Muthoottu Mini's story, everybody there on the board. It was a very interactive session. I think all the audience did liked it, and that's why there were so many questions that were asked. I think it's time for us to wrap up the webinar, sir. It's almost crossed the time that we committed to investors. Uh, thanks a lot for everyone to be there, be the audience, be the entire management of Muthoottu Mini to grace this occasion. Thanks a lot, sir.
Right,
So
right.
thank you very much, Dr. Tipson, and for those who are listening to us. And if they want to ask any questions privately also, they can ask us. We will ready to answer. Our email is known to them. They can ask questions. We will, if we are not clear in any point, they can ask us questions. We will write back to them. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Nagesh. Thank you once again. Thank you, Tipsons. You've been such a great host. So thanks to all the investors for patiently listening to us. As rightly said by Mathai sir, I mean, we're trying to reach to the larger public at this point of time. So if you have any sort of queries, you can definitely come back to us because we want to keep this conversation going. And thank you once again.
Okay.